Okay, we're going to be working now on slope of a line. So in the last lesson, we graphed points, and those points made a line when we connected them together. So today we're going to talk about slope, and slope is really the angle of the line. Think if you were going snowboarding or skiing, the slope is the angle that your hill is. So we're going to talk about 4 different kinds of slope right now. Positive slope is a slope that goes up the hill. So this is going up to the right, and it's pointing up to the right, which is where X is positive, and it's where Y is positive. So it's pointing up in that first quadrant. We always read from left to right. So a negative slope is going to be going down the hill, and that's where both the X and the Y values are negative, or the Y value is negative. It's pointing down the hill. So it's going down to the right as we read from left to right. A zero slope is a horizontal line. It's flat like the floor. So this is a horizontal line which goes from left to right, flat like the floor. And a slope that's undefined is a line that goes straight up and down. It's a vertical line. So you think of it this way. It's easy to walk across the floor, so that's going to be horizontal. There's no slope. But if I had asked you to walk up the wall with nobody helping you, no suction cups, it's impossible for you to do, and that's why a straight up and down line is an undefined slope. And also a line that does not represent a function is a vertical line. Since it's impossible and since it's undefined. So let's take a look at a couple of more vocabulary words. Remember that a right triangle is a triangle that has one right angle in it. So you could draw a picture. And it's created from a horizontal line, which goes left to right. And the right angle is also created by a vertical line, which goes up and down. So both the horizontal and vertical lines create the right angle, which then can create a right triangle by connecting those together. We're going to use that to find slope. So to find slope of a line, or the angle of the line, we're going to choose 2 points on the line. We're going to figure out what the vertical change is. How far did we go up or down? And we're going to figure out the horizontal change. How far did we go left to right? Then we write the slope as a fraction in reduced form. And when we write the fraction, we write vertical change over the horizontal change. That is our slope. So let's practice a problem. So we're going to pick 2 points on the line, and it doesn't matter which 2 points you want to pick. I always try to pick one that's right on the y-axis and then pick the next point to the right. But you don't have to. You can pick any 2 points as long as they cross right at a corner. So these 2 points are going to be 0, -3, and 1, -2. Change means to subtract them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my points as XY and XY. Vertical is my Y change, so I'm going to subtract my Y points -3 minus -2. Remember, when we're doing minus a negative, that changes it to a plus. And so when we do our problem, -3 plus 2 means you owe me $3, but you have 2, so that's going to be -1. Then our horizontal change is going to be 0, take away 1, which is -1. So to find the slope, we write the vertical change over the horizontal change, and then we simplify. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. And that matches our line because our slope goes up to the right, and so we know it's positive, and that matches our number, which is a +1. Okay, next problem, we're going to pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick one right here, and then I'm going to follow the line till I find another point that crosses at a corner. So my 2 points are 0, 7, and 1, 3. So the vertical change means I'm going to subtract my y values because that's vertical is up and down, which is the y-axis. Vertical, up and down, like the y-axis. Goes up and down, so we're going to use the y parts of the points. So 7 minus 3 is 4. Horizontal change is going to be 0, take away 1, which is -1. So we put our vertical and divide it by our horizontal. Positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 4 divided by 1 is 4. So it's going to be -4, which matches our picture because our slope is going down to the right, so it's a negative slope. Okay, next example, I'm going to pick 2 points. I like the origin, and then I'm just going to pick that next point to the right. So I have 0, 0, and I have 3, 1. My vertical change is subtracting the y values. So I have 0 minus 1, which is -1. Then I'm going to subtract my x values. 0 take away 3 is -3. My vertical change divided by my horizontal change. Negative divided by a negative is a positive, and that means that my change is 1/3. And if you look at the picture, this is positive because it is going up to the right. Okay, next one, let's pick 2 points. I'll just pick this one and the one right next to it. So 0, 4. And 1, 4. Remember, this is my x and that's my y. This is my x and that's my y. I'm going to subtract my y values. We always subtract y first. 4 minus 4 is 0. And the horizontal change, we subtract the x's. So I put my vertical change over my horizontal change. And remember that 0 divided by anything is 0. And this is a horizontal line. Goes straight across left to right, and it has a 0 slope. Remember, any 0 divided by any number is 0. So if you have nothing and you divide it into 8 piles, each person gets nothing. Difference would be a vertical line. So let's pick 2 points. I'll pick this one and the one right above it. So -3, 0, and -3, +1. Our x and our y's are going to be labeled. So let's subtract our y values. 0 take away 1 is -1. And then -3 take away -3. Remember, when you take away a negative, that changes that to a plus. So what is -3 plus 3? That's going to be 0. So now we put our vertical change over our horizontal change. And remember, any number divided by 0 is not possible. So that's going to be undefined. Let me give you another example. If you have 10 pieces of candy and I want you to have 0 piles, it's not possible because I already have 10 pieces of candy. So any number divided by 0 would be undefined. So this is how we are working with slope.